Okay, so we're about to begin the creation of the central controls for our character, and in creating those controls we're going to utilize a script that was written back in the technical rigging series to allow us to produce stretchy splines. Now, for those of you that followed along with the technical rigging series, you'll have that script to hand and you'll be able to use that script in this project. For those of you who didn't follow along with the technical rigging series, we have provided that script on the DVD for you, and so you'll need to go ahead and get that installed. Along with installing that script, we're going to set up a tool on our shelf that's going to call on the functionality within that script. So let's find the script on the disk, and I've got that here inside C scripts. This will be in the DVD folders somewhere, and this is characterrigging2.pyc. So I want to grab that, Control C to copy. I then want to find my folder for the install for the current build of Houdini that I'm using. I'm personally using 9.5.230. So I'm inside of my install for that version of Houdini, and from within that install we want to go inside the Houdini folder, down inside the scripts folder, and then down inside the Python folder. Inside this folder I want to paste with Control V that characterrigging2.pyc. Doing that will install that script, and once it's installed we can jump back over to Houdini and call on the functionality in that script. Now, for those of you that followed along with Character Rigging 1, you'll have your Character Rigging shelf with the tools that we were using in Character Rigging 1. For those of you who didn't follow along with Character Rigging 1, you may want to go ahead and create yourself a Character Rigging shelf, come up to the plus, go down to New Shelf, and from there you can create a new shelf. I'm simply going to add this tool to my existing Character Rigging shelf. So I'm going to right click on the shelf and come down to New Tool, and the tool that I want to create is going to have the name of Stretchy Spline and a label of Stretchy Spline. I want to give that the icon of obj_state_bones from curve. You'll notice if we apply that, that gives us that bones from curve icon, and since our stretchy spline deals with a bone chain that's being driven by a curve, we want to have that icon on our tool. I personally think that makes logical sense to have that icon on our tool. So with that in place, we can jump over to the script tab, noticing of course we are dealing with the Python scripting language, and we're going to need to write a couple of lines of script in order to import that module we just installed and then call on the functionality within that module. So we want to import character rigging 2, and from the character rigging 2 module I want to call on the functionality stretchy spline with controls underscore tool. So if we accept that and now run our tool, we should see that it's asking us to select any bone in the IK hierarchy, push enter to confirm. I'm actually going to push escape to cancel that so that we can get everything we need set up in order to apply our tool. So the tool is designed to work with a bone chain that has been set up using inverse kinematics set to follow the shape of a curve. So the first thing we need is a curve. So I'm going to jump over to the Create tab and create a NURBS curve. I'm just going to draw out a very simple curve in our view. Once we have a curve, we can create bones from that curve, but we obviously need to make sure those bones follow with the curve. So we can jump over to the Character tab, activate the Bones from Curve tool. I want to make sure they're set to the Follow Curve kinematics. Grab our curve, enter to create those, and now we're going to have bones that are set to follow our curve. And with those in place, we're now ready to activate the Stretchy Spline tool. This is the setup that the Stretchy Spline tool is designed to work with. If we activate that tool, it's going to ask us to select any bone in the IK hierarchy. So we can grab any of these bones and push enter to confirm. From there, it will do the rest. It will set up everything for us. And it's going to generate control objects. And those control objects are going to modify the shape of the curve and thus are going to affect our bone chain. So that is the whole purpose of our Stretchy Spline with Controls tool. It's going to generate controls on our curve. It's also going to make sure that the bones stretch to attempt to match the length of the curve, because if our curve changes length, by default the bones will not stretch to match that. So that's what the tool from Technical Rigging 4 does. We now have that tool available to us to use when setting up our character. So that's going to conclude getting that script installed and the tool for that script set up. Thanks a lot, everyone.